The National Working Committee of our party, the PDP, for doing such a professional job. They ran a process. They followed the constitution of a party very diligently. What you're seeing today, the outcome of the process you're seeing, is the reward for hard work. As I can recall, of all the aspirants, I can authoritatively say that Mr. Asue Ighodalo was the only one who traversed the 192 wards of Edo State, spent his resources, spent his time, spent his energy to convince members of our party, the PDP, across the nooks and crannies of the state that he is the best candidate to succeed me in office. I encouraged every aspirant to do the same, but invariably he was the only one who had the diligence to go through the process, and I guess that's what was rewarded last week. I'm sure there was no delegates in that pitch he hadn't met before that day.
Yeah, I'd asked you a question. Was Asue Ighodalo actually your anointed candidate?
It is not in my place to anoint a candidate. That's very anti-democratic. As a leader of a party and a process, my responsibility is to assist and support the process of building institutions, because without institutions, our democracy will not last. So our party is an institution. It's governed by rules, and any leader who wants to sustain a process must ensure that they stick to the rules of the party or the rules of the institution so that the institution can last. So what we've just done in Edo State is to live by the books of PDP constitution, and this is what it has produced.
How about plans for reconciliation? Today we find the acting national chairman of the party insisting that there has got to be reconciliation within the party, reconciling the aggrieved party. As the leader of the party in the state, what are your thoughts? What would be your advice to Mr. Ighodalo towards reconciliation?
It's not only Mr. Ighodalo's responsibility. It's the responsibility of every member of the party, all the organs of the party, and all the tiers of the party, from the national to the state to the local governments, even to the ward. Wherever we find disagreements, I think it's our responsibility as leaders to ensure that we mend fences and we seal the cracks. So I'm in Abuja. I'm going to be talking to members of the National Working Committee, the members of the National Executive Council, to help us and work with us in ensuring that we reconcile the party across both the line, both vertically and horizontally.
All right, so Mr. Ighodalo, just one question for you. You had won in what would be described as the INEC recognized primary election that was held over the weekend. What exactly are your thoughts about how that election went, and going forward? September 21st is just about a couple of months from now. How sure are you that you are going to be able to clinch the ticket of it, or to clinch the final win?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. As I said when I was talking at the PDP headquarters today, I think the process for where we got to today has been one of the best democratic processes I've ever seen. I've been voting and being part of elections since 1979. And I compared the process, the PDP process, in-house process in Edo State on the 4th of February, on the 10th of February, and on the 22nd of February as only akin to what happened to the Abiola A4 election in 1993. I was extremely impressed by the process. I think the National Working Committee did a good job, and the process also had an appeal process, and I think they went through the appeal process. So I'm really proud to be a member of the PDP. I think the work that was done was first-class process. I also thank chairman of the party in the state, who also worked with the National Working Committee to ensure that everything went well. And I'm truly grateful for that process. Going forward, like the governor has said, We will work with every organ of the party at the national and at the state level to ensure that we all come together even more strongly as one. Because as one, it will be easier for us to win the election in September. If we're not one, it will be much more difficult. But as one, it will be easier. So we'll keep working. The leader of the party, the governor, has said he will do everything possible to make sure the party unites. The chairman of the party in the state has said he will do everything possible to make sure the party unites. At the National Working Committee level, they've also said today that everybody is working in tandem as one. And I have been doing that process since I came into the electoral process. I've been talking to people, trying to ensure that we're one. And the differences are not fundamental. And so because they are not fundamental, I know there are differences that we can overcome. I will continue talking to my colleagues, all co-aspirants, one-on-one, collectively, and we will come to an agreement. I know that because they're all reasonable men and women who have a passion for the people of Edo State, who have a passion for the party. Once you put the people of Edo State first and put the party first, then we close ranks. It's easier to close ranks. It's only if you're not thinking of the people and you're not thinking of the party and you're thinking of yourself that you won't be able to close ranks. So I know we'll close ranks because those are men and women of honor who will think of the people of Edo State first and the party, and so we'll close ranks. So I don't have any problems.
You said Edo State is going to be a reference to Africa.
By God's grace.
How are you going to do it?
I will continue from where Governor Obaseki stopped, And I said so before. Governors before him and him have laid a solid foundation. What I now need to, my work is going to be relatively easy because there's a solid foundation. We'll build on that foundation. Take education, from where he stopped or where his government stopped. We'll continue from there. Take civil service reform, judicial reform. And then look at what we've done in other spaces. If you look at certain parts of Edo State, you see the kind of investments that have been attracted into the state. And look at what has happened, the ESOP program, that's the oil palm program, an agricultural program. And then let's look at electricity, let's look at, the foundation is solid. This government is working on the Benin port. If we get the Benin port right, we're at the point where financing has been found. If we get the Benin port right, which would then be my responsibility as the next governor, that brings $10 billion into the economy of Edo State immediately. If we do the Benin-Auchi road, that brings 4 or 5 basis points to our GDP immediately. So there are basic things we can do, and it's not rocket science. You don't even have to be a genius, There are just certain things from a foundational perspective that you continue with. And if you are now a genius, the sky is the limit.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So when you have 10 billion, your IPOB.